After 11 agonizing weeks of silence at Gaza's borders, aid trucks are finally rolling in. But is it too little, too late for millions teetering on the edge of starvation? For the first time in nearly 3 months, Gaza is seeing the return of vital humanitarian aid. More than 90 trucks packed with flour and other basic supplies have been collected by UN teams inside the territory. A small but critical breakthrough after Israel lifted its 11-week-long blockade. But let's be clear, while this is a step forward, it's nowhere near enough. Aid agencies on the ground, including the World Food Programme, are sounding the alarm. Over 2 million people in Gaza are at risk of famine. Around a quarter of the population is already facing starvation. The situation is nothing short of desperate. This partial lifting of the blockade came after intense pressure from the United States and other international allies. In response, Israel allowed limited shipments of essential food items like flour into Gaza. However, getting the aid across the border was just the first hurdle. Here's the challenge. Even after the trucks made it into Gaza, aid couldn't immediately be distributed. Why? Palestinian drivers couldn't safely reach the cargo due to ongoing violence and fears of looting. The UN refused to use routes suggested by the Israeli military, which passed through densely populated areas where armed gangs were likely to hijack the supplies. A dangerous reality when people are starving and desperate. UN officials say Gaza doesn't just need a trickle of trucks. The Tribunal, it needs a flood of aid. That's the only way to bring down black market prices for food and reduce chaos. Right now, they estimate about 600 trucks a day are needed to meet basic humanitarian needs. But the reality, only about 90 trucks a day are getting in Kiaitan Aikindi, and that's on a good day. The silver lining? Some of the aid has finally made it to warehouses and bakeries. For a small number of families, this means access to food they haven't seen in weeks, like bread made from fresh flour. But for the vast majority, the struggle continues, and while aid workers are racing against the clock, the conflict shows no signs of slowing. Israeli airstrikes and artillery fire have intensified. Just in the last few hours, 30 more people were killed, pushing the death toll past 600 since this latest military offensive began. So, yes, some aid is trickling through, but with bombs still falling, roads unsafe, and famine looming, the question remains. Will help arrive fast enough to make a real difference?